Tonight, Troy University is looking for new leaders. Plus, students explore other cultures through tea. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for February 7th, 2014. I'm Amanda Ford. And I'm Courtney Addison. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University introduces the campus to incoming freshmen at the Impact Orientation sessions during the summer. Right now, the school is looking for students to act as counselors for this year's Impact. Casey Freeman shows us students who are learning about the application process.
It's almost time for incoming freshmen to attend Impact, a two-day process for the students to learn more about Troy.
Impact is the student orientation for the summer where students will come and they'll get their schedules made, but more importantly they'll have a chance to bond with the other students that are the other incoming freshmen in their class, and they'll get to know a little bit more about Troy. Often
the students' favorite part of Impact is meeting other students.
My favorite part of Impact was meeting new people and meeting the actual Impact leaders from Troy.
My favorite part about Impact is the friendships that you make, because they last long after Impact is gone.
Even the Impact director, Cody Ash, enjoys meeting the new students.
I think my favorite part of Impact is interacting with all the students that come in, and that's really why I love being an admissions counselor so much, is because I get to go to these high schools and meet these potential students who are interested in coming to a higher education. And so whenever they come into Troy, it's really nice getting to see, well, A, the hard work of the admissions team paying off, but B, just kind of get to interact with these students who are wanting more out of life and to get more education.
Students can look forward to having action-packed sessions.
One freshman would normally come to Impact and they're going to learn more about the opportunities that they're going to have at Troy, what organizations they can get involved in, and other things that, other opportunities that Troy has to offer them. And then the following day they will have their schedules made and they will have their Troy email, and just a lot of the very exciting, there's student ID, a lot of exciting things will happen that last day, and they will be a Trojan when they leave.
Casey Freeman, Troy TrojanVision News.
Applications for Impact Counselor are available in the admissions office. Applications are due by Tuesday, February the 11th at noon. Next week, there is a chance for people to absorb a little Spanish and Cuban culture through film. Troy University's library is hosting a Spanish language film festival starting next Tuesday in Patterson Hall. The film festival will last 3 weeks with showings each Tuesday. The festival will start with a showing of Juan of the Dead at 4 p.m. this Tuesday in Patterson Hall, room 103. The library held a similar festival for French films in the fall. The festival is free and open to the public. Well, Courtney, Troy University is home to a number of international students from a variety of countries around the world. That's exactly right, Amanda. And there is an organization on campus that is helping educate all about those different cultures through tea. Caitlin Crow has the story.
A group of Troy students have found one major commonality between American and international students: tea. And every other week, students from all over the world come together for an event on Troy's campus known as Tea for Troy. The purpose is to educate each other on the different types of tea from various countries.
Here in the South, we typically prefer our tea one way, and that's sweet. But Tea for Troy allows a way for students to interact with international students as well as branch out on their taste buds.
We wanted to create an area where people expect to build relationships, and we thought the best way to do that is through tea. And tea is internationally known as something that is what people do for hospitality, and so Tea for Troy ended up coming out of the idea of something that I would do in my room. I would invite internationals up into my room to drink tea with me, and it became something bigger than that, something that encompasses more culture and more relationships, and it's just something that grew out of that idea.
And this week, the country of discussion was South Sudan.
Usually the presentations that we do are based on an international student. We pick our international students based on who we know and who we have a relationship with.
Throughout the event, many facts are thrown out about each country, but how the tea was originated caught one student's attention.
During one of the wars, they actually started using tea instead of wine because they couldn't find wine in the war and it was easier to get tea, so that was pretty cool.
Tea for Troy meets every other Thursday at 7 o'clock in Howe Hall. Caitlin Crow, Troy TrojanVision News.
Tea for Troy is held every 2 weeks, and the next Tea for Troy will be Thursday the 20th at 7 p.m. in the Hall of Honor. And now taking a look at news from around the state, State Representative Charles Newton of Greenville is switching to the Republican Party. He issued a statement today saying he believes the switch from the Democratic Party will allow him to best serve his constituents. His district includes Butler, Crenshaw, and Conecuh counties. And in Troy, political commentator Steve Flowers has dropped his campaign for the Alabama Public Service Commission. Flowers had planned to run the Republican primary on June 3rd against Terry Dunn, but he announced today that he's pulling out. He says that he realized being in politics would cause him to lose his credibility as an analyst. And in Tuscaloosa, authorities have identified a pedestrian killed by vehicles as he crossed a Tuscaloosa street as 36-year-old Eric Terrell Hill of Tuscaloosa. Police say Hill was struck by at least 3 vehicles as he crossed Alabama Highway 69 South early Wednesday. And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, it was a night of Trojan victories throughout campus last night. Amy Austin will give us more details when she joins us with sports. Now Amy Austin joins us with sports. So Amy, last night was full of Trojan sports, lots of action going on here on campus, and from what I heard, everybody had really good turnouts.
Yes, Courtney, that's right. Lots of Trojan victories last night, but I'll get into more details now in sports. Winning cheers filled up Trojan Arena last night as the women's basketball team defeated South Alabama, making that the 4th victory for Troy in the last 5 games and making that 2 victories in a row. 2 in a row and counting, the Troy women's basketball team took a conference game away from South Alabama on Thursday night. The Trojans defeated the Jaguars 78-53, making that the 4th Trojan victory in their last 5 games.
It goes without being said that we're very thankful to be in the situation we're in, having won 4 of our last 5 games. It's quite a big turnaround, and many times at the beginning of the year, like when I came in here after these games. So we're proud. I told the team right about the time we started winning that honestly they were, I think, the most improved team that I had seen in quite a while, or maybe ever, and they truly are. They started showing it in the win column.
Within the first few minutes of play, the Trojans trailed by 10, but the effort off the bench contributed rebounds and points to get the Trojans back on top.
We're very proud. We had a spark off the bench tonight with Asada and Chant, our freshman Chant Lewis. Those guards came in and gave us a big spark because we were losing by, I think, 10 points at the beginning of the game. I can't say enough about them. I can't say enough about Renita Garrett coming off the bench with 11 rebounds. That can sway a game for you right there.
Senior guard Joanna Harden scored her 1,000th career point with the Trojans in the win over South Alabama. She's the 20th player to score into the 1,000-point club and only the 3rd player to make it in 2 seasons.
I don't know, I'm just speechless, but the points don't matter to me. I just want to win.
Congratulations to Joe for being the 3rd player in the history of this program to score 1,000 points in 2 years. And no telling how many more she's going to get. Just got to keep playing.
The women's team will be back in action on Wednesday night at Western Kentucky with tip-off at 7 p.m. And the men's basketball team broke a 5-game losing streak with a victory over South Alabama last night. Mitchell Spoon gives us the details.
Thursday night, the men's basketball team snapped a 5-game losing streak on their way to defeating in-state rival South Alabama 79-74. The Trojans used a strong second half to secure the victory after going into halftime down 31-30.
We needed a win in the worst way, and just proud of the guys because they've never slipped 1 inch in terms of attitude or work ethic from day to day, from drill to drill, from practice to practice. Any kind of video session, preparation session, they haven't slipped any, and it's good to see them get a win and come out, come in that locker room with a smile on their face.
Senior guard Hunter Williams scored 21 points in the final 6 minutes, including 6 3-pointers on his way to producing 26 points on the night. Head coach Phil Cunningham hopes that last night's game will help us spark a mid-season run, but knows that teams are going to be on the watch for Williams.
He was something else tonight, and he got it going there in the second half and made some shots that, I promise you, we didn't draw a play up or we didn't have anything to do with it. He just stepped up and made some shots. Now, what's going to happen is he's going to face different type of game plans after a night like that. And he's been facing those type of game plans all year. They're going to say, okay, somebody beat us besides Hunter Williams, but what he did tonight was really impressive.
Kevin Thomas and Jeff Millay both chipped in, scoring double figures as well, with 15 and 13 points respectively. But one player that Cunningham said helped the most was Kelton Ford, who added 8 points for the Trojans.
A guy who came in and helped us a lot was Kelton Ford. Kelton came in and he's just so aggressive off the dribble. He's a different guy for us. We have, you've got Hunt, you've got Jeff, and you've got Fresh, who all are kind of unique in their games. And then you got Putt, we call him Putt, comes in the game, and he's so quick and aggressive off the dribble. And I think it's a good little change up when he comes in. But he was good.
Mitchell Spoon, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The men will take on Western Kentucky on the road on Thursday. The game will be at 7 p.m. and will be shown on ESPN3. And Trojan softball opened up their season on the newly renovated field against Auburn. Heavy rain caused the game to end in a tie. The bottom of the first was when Troy did their damage. Erica Davis hit a 2-out double. Ashley Rainey then was hit by a pitch, and Becca Hartley was walked to load the bases. Then in her first career at bat, Michelle Phelps hit a grand slam, putting the Trojans on top. Auburn came back in the top of the sixth, picking up 4 runs. Due to weather, the game paused for a delay and then was ended in a tie. Although the ending was not ideal, a lot of experience was gained from the game.
We had some timely hitting, some great defensive plays. Unfortunately, you have very mixed emotions when you have a game end in a tie, and obviously that's not what you want to have happen. But I do think that we learned a lot. Our girls take away a lot of positives, and I think we have a better understanding of our strengths and weaknesses as a team, and that's what you're looking for in these early games.
The team will be competing in the Troy Subway Invitational throughout the weekend, both at the Troy Softball Complex and Troy Sportsplex. Troy's first game started at 5 against Northwestern State. And the Troy men's tennis team picked up a 7-0 victory from Alabama A&M. Troy lost only 1 game in 2 doubles matches, winning at number 1, 8-0, and at number 2, 8-1. Alabama A&M only had 4 players on their roster, which gave Troy players 5 and 6 default wins. The other single matches were won in straight sets. Taju Davies at number 1 singles and Tommy Cundy at number 4 each won 6-0 and 6-0. Pablo Moreno at number 2 won 6-0 and 6-1, and Karen Kakatrayan won at number 3 6-1 and 6-0, giving the Trojans the shutout. Troy will return to the court when they take on Nicholls State in 2 weeks. So Amanda, Courtney, lots of Trojan sports are in action, and fans can get out there and support the softball team this weekend.
Absolutely. Hopefully, best of luck to the softball team. Hopefully the weather will permit and they'll actually get to finish a game, and hopefully they're doing well now. But as if we already didn't have enough going on, the baseball team actually gets kick-started next week, right?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Amy.
All right, thank you, Amy.